Sutcliffe's battery mate today is Jody Davis. On the infield, you've got Leon Durham at first, Ryan Sandberg at second, the shortstop Larry Boa, Ron Say at third. Into the Cub outfield with Bob Denier in center, flanked in right by Keith Moreland and in left by Gary Matthews. The New York coaches are Bill Robinson at first, Bobby Valentine at third. Well, you could tell by the way the Mets were talking when they arrived here last night, when they appeared on the various shows. They know the job that faces them.
Well, this is their season, Milo, right here, of course. And don't forget this, they have the Philadelphia Phillies on their mind also, who only trail them by 2.5 games. So this is wrapped up right here for the New York Mets as their season as far as Dave Johnson is concerned.
Rick Sutcliffe will make his fourth start against New York. He is 2-0, and he is 3-2 against them lifetime. He went twice against them for 4 1/3, giving up no hits. The last one, of course, was in New York when he shut them out on a 4-hitter and beat them 6-0. In 22 innings, 18 hits, 8 earned runs, 3 walks, but look at that strikeout total. 22 strikeouts against the Mets in 22 innings.
Milo, to set the scene, the wind is blowing in, and it's cool air here, which means that the air will be heavy for the baseball to travel. I'm not saying that any ball cannot be hit out of this ballpark. It certainly can. But when you go against Darling and talk about Sutcliffe, normally this would be a low-scoring game. But who knows what happens in baseball. And when you get to a low-scoring game, execution becomes spelled with the capital letters.
All right, we are ready as Wally Backman, their final second baseman, leads it off. First pitch of the game, strike called with a breaking ball, and we're underway. Wally Backman hitting .275, 1 homer, 22 runs batted in. Rick Sutcliffe, one of these stories of the year, and he's pitching right here today in a big one for the Cubs again. Backman shows bunt, takes it high, and the count is even at a ball and a strike.
Well, you can tell that Vukovich and Fry and the coaches have talked to their outfield because each man is playing very shallow.
All right, a ball and a strike. Backman batting left-handed, leads out over the plate. And the pitch on the way from the big right-hander as a strike call came right over the top with a good fastball, and it's 1-2. Backman, a .304 hitter against the Cubs. 14 hits. In the last 2 series now, we've seen him play second base every game. He has become a fine leadoff batter for them. And the 1-2 pitch from Rick Sutcliffe, here it comes. Swing and a foul, just enough to get another swing. Plate umpire wanted to look at the ball, and he'll get it back. John Kibler, the crew chief, calling the balls and strikes. Bruce Fremming at first, Lanny Harris at second, and Jim Quick will call him at third today. Boy, just when the St. Louis Cardinals looked like they were on a streak, the Phillies, who looked like they had gone south, perked it up again.
Yes, indeed.
Which brings to mind what you talked about. The Mets know they don't want to finish third either, do they?
No.
Here's the pitch. Swinging, bouncer, right side. Durham with it. Got a lead. Sutcliffe, and he wins the race to the bag, and it's 1 away.
Beautiful play. Sutcliffe, the veteran, was over there, and that's not an easy play for a pitcher, running at top speed, looking for the ball, knowing where that base is, and finding it after you catch the ball.
And one thing that I'm sure Durham went to school, and the other infielders should too, when he tried to set, his feet gave away. Did you notice that big divot that he dug up there?
Well, we've noticed in the last month and mentioned it, Milo, the territory that Durham is covering to his right. It's amazing how he and Sandberg close up that hole between them.
All right, here's Mookie Wilson, the center fielder. He's batting .270, 8 homers, and 45 runs batted in. He's a .211 hitter against the Cubs in '84. Now the left-hand batter, Hernandez, follows also. Then Strawberry. Swung on, high bouncer, shortstop, big hop, fast man running, Boa throws, got him by a step. That's the way to charge that baby.
The veteran knew who was running and how he had to handle the play. He timed it so he caught the ball on a high hop, and in the same motion, get rid of that ball very quickly.
So it's 2 up and 2 down, and Keith Hernandez is the batter. Comes in with a mini hitting streak of 5, but that doesn't tell his whole story of late. He's only been shut out twice in his last 24 games. Hit a long hitting streak when we were there last week. He's batting with nobody on and 2 away. Against the league, Hernandez having another good year. .319, 15 homers, 91 runs batted in.
I think he's the catalyst to the offense of the Mets. when you look at who's following him, and they like to look up to Hernandez insofar as a leadership on this ball club.
Breaking pitch is a little low, and it's ball one. Strawberry has moved on deck. A marvelous crowd here, and it'll be that way again tomorrow and Sunday. Right-hand pitcher, left-hand batter. Sutcliffe nods agreement. And the 1-0 on the way to Hernandez, and it's low outside, ball two. Backman and Wilson retired on ground balls. Sutcliffe mopping that brow. That's still from warming up. He hasn't broken that out there with this stiff breeze blowing in, has he, good kid?
No, he hasn't. You know, a lot of reporters made comment in a paper with the extra day hurt him. Extra day won't hurt anybody right now, whether it's an extra day rest or going into the work with a less.
Drive out into right field, won't carry. Moreland is there in right center, and it's 3 up and 3 down. So Sutcliffe goes through the first inning, 1-2-3. After a half an inning, the Mets are scoreless with no hits, and our Cubs are just now coming into bat. All right, Ron Darling out on the mound, and quickly, Lou, I know you wanted to finish that thought you had on an extra day for Sutcliffe.
Yeah, I was in the process of saying that at this particular stage of the season, an extra day rest will not hurt anybody, nor will it hurt anybody to bring them back less than a regular rest period of 4 days.
The importance of the game and the adrenaline will take care of all that.
Absolutely.
Here's Bobby Denier leading it off. Bobby hitting 280, 3 homers, and 30 runs batted in. Darling facing the Cubs for the 4th time, a record of 1-1. Pitched a beautiful game his last time out. 6 hits, only 1 run. Had a shutout until the 9th when Matthews homered against him over the center field fence at Shea. Here's his first pitch today to Bobby Denier, low inside a ball. Denier will be followed by Sandberg and then Matthews. The Cubs are 10-5 with the Mets. Here's the pitch. A strike, a good fastball. The Mets have not won a game at Wrigley Field this year. Cubs 6-0 against them. Denier still has that left instep and shin heavily guarded where he's been fouling balls off. There's a strike. He showed bunt but took it. That brought Knight up another step or two at third. Now with 1 and 2, Knight will back off to a little behind the bag. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Center fielder playing Denier straight away. So is the right fielder. Left fielder playing him slightly to pull, and here's the 1-2 pitch. Low inside, and it's 2-2. Cubs playing their 147th game of the year. Come in here 30 over. 88, 58. Here's the pitch. Strike call right across the knees on the inside corner. Denier arguing with Kibler. I think he thought that ball was low and inside.
Well, it was the first breaking ball that Darling has thrown, and it fooled Denier. This kid is very fast. He's a good pitcher, a young pitcher, but they all on this New York staff look as if they've been around for 10 years. They have that much calmness in their delivery and in their work out there on the mound.
Ryan Sandberg will step in. Matthews has moved on deck. Sandberg hitting 290 against New York, and that ball is low outside. Rhino's still second in the league at 317, 19 homers, 79 runs batted in. And the 1-0 on the way. The right call. Boy, he's quick.
Yes, he is. He's firing. He's keyed up the same as everybody else.
1 ball, 1 strike. The wind is blowing from the left field corner to the right field corner, and briskly. It's about 12 miles an hour. That ball's in the dirt, and it's 2-1. Mets here tomorrow and Sunday. Monday's an open date. Pirates come in for 3. So a lot of big games left here. Swing and a bouncer short. Hubie Brooks charges. Fires on to first. And it's 2 away. Short to first. Hubie Brooks to Keith Hernandez. 2 up and 2 down. That'll bring up the left fielder, Gary Matthews. Last time he looked at Darling, he hit the ball about 425 feet off of him. As the pitch before, a little chin music, and the side says, Boy, he jacked it the next one, didn't he?
He did. That's what you like to see when your own ball player is knocked down and brushed back. They come right back and prove to that pitcher, that original pitch didn't bother me at all.
High inside a ball. Matthews hitting 295, 12 homers, 72 runs batted in. 3 of those 12 homers have been against New York. And that's a fastball missing, and it's 2-0 to the start. Durham would be next. Nobody on. 2 down. First inning, here's the pitch. High inside a ball. Darling walks back up to the top of the hill. He's fallen behind 3-0, and here's the pitch. And it's down the middle, 3-1. The coats and the sweaters feel good here today. It's breezy. Swing and a miss, and it's full. Ready for a payoff. Let's see how he handles this one. Darling ready, kicks and fires. Swing and a miss. Came from 3-0 back to strike him out, swinging 3 up and 3 down. So nothing to choose between the two pitchers so far. We played an inning, no score.
Northern Italian Rico's restaurant featuring 14 different homemade pastas, 10 exquisite homemade sauces, and Rico's own gelato. Rico's, 4650 North Kedzie, 583-3150.
As we go to the second inning, just to point up the outstanding figures that Sutcliffe, see how it compares with the rest of the pitchers around the big league.
Milo, we're indebted to Ned Coletti of the Cubs Public Relations Office for bringing us up to date on these stats. In the National League, only Dwight Gooden of this Met staff comes close to Sutcliffe. He has a record of 11-3.
All right, the pitch here to Strawberry as he leads it off in the second is a strike call.
And over in the American League, the same record held by Bert Blyleven. That's since June the 13th when the Cubs acquired Rick Sutcliffe, whose record with the Cubs is 14-1. Nobody close to him.
All right, here's the 0-1 to Strawberry. Off-speed breaking pitch low, 1-1. Strawberry hitting .245, 21 homers, and 78 runs batted in. Against the Cubs, the talented young slugging outfielder is batting .255 this year. Sutcliffe ready, and the 1-1 on the way. Off-speed again, low inside, 2-1. Strawberry will be followed by Foster and then Brooks. Left-hand batter waiting. Sutcliffe going to make him wait a moment. Now the right-hander looks in to get the sign from Jody. Nods agreement, and he's ready with a 2-1. Swing and a miss, 2-2. Janier is playing Strawberry a little toward left center, maybe 3 or 4 or 5 steps. Here's the 2-2. Just outside. Oh, that was close.
That's his spot. Sutcliffe's spot, I should say. Right over that outside corner. When he misses, it's just by inches.
And it was so effective for him when he pitched at New York, wasn't it?
Yes, indeed.
Ready with a 3-2, and here it comes. Swinging a foul, took something off, got him out and over it, and it's still full as Strawberry leads off the New York second. Remember, tomorrow is Scarf Day here at Wrigley Field. Every Cubs fan attending the Cubs-Mets 220, and get that too, later tomorrow, 220 game, will receive an attractive Cubs scarf, compliments of Marathon, and your Marathon dealers and distributors. Marathon, longtime sponsor on Cubs radio. Fouled off again, so that Cubs scarf tomorrow will be compliments of Marathon.
Wish I had mine today.
Listen, if you put in a call to Kelly Seaton,
Yes?
she'll make sure you get one. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
She could run it out herself and see the rest of this game.
Oh. All right, do a payoff. Sutcliffe ready. Winding in the pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. That pitch was really down.
How about that throwing a 3-2 curveball twice to Strawberry? He wasn't looking for the breaking pitch after he fouled off the first one thrown to him.
Throw one away in the second, and George Foster will be the batter. George Foster has hit safely in 14 of his last 17 games. He has 4 home runs against the Cubs this year.
I think, Milo, you can say the success of any pitcher is getting a breaking pitch over when the hitter is ahead of them by the count of 2-0, 3-1, 3-0.
Here's the first pitch to Foster. Swinging. Fly ball center. Won't carry. Denier goes back to get it as the wind just kept flattening it out for him, and he ran right under it, and it's 2 away.
Now, that ball was well tagged. It could have been out of this ballpark had the wind been blowing out.
2 up and 2 down, and it brings up Hubie Brooks.
Denier's coming in, getting his sunglasses from second base umpire. Harris, who was holding them forward in there, and then Boa also coming in. So the sun is trying to break through those clouds.
And Bobby had a little trouble with that drive off the bat of Foster because he didn't have those sunglasses.
All right, here is Hubie Brooks, the shortstop. This will be the first chance for folks at Wrigley Field to see him play short. We saw him in that whole series last weekend at New York. He's batting .290, 16 homers, 72 runs batted in. 2 of his home runs against the Cubs. 1 off Stoddard and 1 off Brewstar. First pitch is in for a strike. Nobody on, 2 down. Second inning. Folks better get used to looking at him playing short, because I think that's where he is destined to stay.
He had a great series against us in New York.
A strike with a breaking ball. He made plays that you just don't figure a guy who's been away from that position would make. He made some tremendous plays.
They didn't think that he could do the job as well as he has been doing it. Consequently, they're hoping he would learn how to play in the instructional league next spring.
They signed him as a shortstop, but he hadn't played any for quite a while. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Low, and it's 1-2. Ray Knight would be next. Sutcliffe. Boy, there's something flying around out around that mound. He's slapping away at it. He's looking behind, seeing if that bee's coming back. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Swing and a foul way up to the right side. He went after ball 2. That was up out of the strike zone. What magic number do you have up there, Lou?
Well, I believe it's Don put up number 9.
What would you do without Big Don?
I couldn't go on without Big Don up in this booth.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Right-hand batter waiting on Sutcliffe. Winding and delivering. A little high tight, and it's 2-2.
Keeps my seat of the chair warm on cool days. Has a nice cup of coffee ready for me. Then I just cost you a little extra to go first class, Milo. Get in your pocket once in a while. You all right? Back to the ball game.
Here's the 2-2. Backs him off the plate. 3-2.
I hope they tape that. They usually do.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Brooks stepping back up in there. Stands close to the plate, fairly deep, waiting on a full count. And Sutcliffe ready. Here it is. Swing and a smash to third. Stay right there. Fires on to Durham. He's out by 5 steps. 3 up and 3 down for Sutcliffe. Second inning in a row. After an inning and a half, Mets and Cubs, 0-0. In the bottom of the second, Durham leads it off against Darling. First pitch swung on high bouncer, second. Backman to his left, fires on to first, and it's 1 away. So Durham bounces out to Wally Backman. 1 up and 1 away in a hurry here in the Cubs second.
You're still going to invite me to Paoli's when we get there, aren't you, good kid? In Pittsburgh?
Where's that?
Paoli's?
I thought it was Polite.
Polite?
That's close enough.
That's close enough. They still have the same food in both places. Well, no good kid takes care of everything.
I'm not sure.
Oh, yes, you are. Oh, yes, you are.
Here's Moreland, the right fielder, hitting .284, 15 homers, 75 runs batted in, and a fastball strike called. Say due up next. Moreland, right-hand batter, hitting .375 against New York. He's driven in 9 runs against them, 1 home run against Met pitching. Low outside, a ball and a strike. Nobody on, 1 down. There has not been a base runner yet on either side. We're in the bottom of the second inning. Darling, right-hander ready. Here's the pitch. Steve Reich right on the belt buckle, and it's 1-2. Boy, you're right about having that scarf. That would feel good today.
Oh, yes, indeed.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Swing and a foul up to the right side. Going to make the upper deck. And it's still 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Standing room only. Milo, you can see the folks standing in the upper deck on the ramp.
Great Friday crowd here. Here's the pitch. Off-speed breaking pitch. Took it for a ball, and it's 2-2. Moreland stepping back a moment. Now he's back up in there. Sign given by Fitzgerald. And Ron Darling ready. A right-hander kicks and he brings it. Strike call. Breaking pitch. Started it way inside and caught the corner at the knees.
There's the best curveball he's thrown. He's thrown several, but that one really broke sharply over the plate and fooled Moreland.
That's his third strikeout of the 5 outs recorded thus far. And it brings up Ron Cey, the third baseman. Cey batting with nobody aboard and 2 down. Bottom of the second inning. Cey batting .236, 25 homers, 91 RBIs, swings and fouls it upstairs to the right. Hits the facade of the roof and back down to somebody in the front row. An unexpected souvenir right there. No balls and a strike. Oh and 1. Darling ready. Here's the pitch. Swing and a foul tip, and it is 0 and 2. No balls, 2 strikes. Cey stepping out a moment. He's not looking down at Zimmer for anything. He just likes to make that pitcher wait. All right, Darling ready. And the 0-2 just missed at the knee. Both of these right-handers quick and sure here today.
Yes, indeed. This is what we expected when Sutcliffe and Darling gets together.
1 and 2, winding and delivering. Took something off the breaking ball. It dropped low, and it's 2 and 2. Jody Davis would be next. Darling working quickly, and the 2-2 on the way. Swing, bouncer past the mound. Shortstop to his left. Brooks up, throwing, and he got him. And it is all over in the second for the Cubs. Brooks continues to show that he can make all the plays at short. We have played through 2. Mets nothing, Cubs nothing. We go to the third, and Ray Knight will be leading it off.
Now, don't give that last spot to Mr. Brickhouse, Marlowe. That would not be nice.
Or anybody else in this booth.
Well, some of us have done all right.
You haven't looked in the mirror lately.
Ray Knight hitting .220. 2 homers and 33 runs batted in. Knight had a tough series against the Cubs in New York. He's only a .182 hitter combined, Houston and New York, against Cubs pitching this year. Breaking ball is a ball outside, and it's 1-0.
I think if we win this one today, we don't have to pull our hair anymore. Pulling for these Cubs.
That big a game, isn't it?
Oh, yes.
1 ball, no strikes. Knight will be followed by Fitzgerald, which is unusual because Knight usually is followed by Day.
It's a big game, Milo. I heard that. That's okay. It's a big game because if the Mets win, it'll give them a little incentive for tomorrow. And if the Cubs win, you know what it can do to the Mets insofar as thoughts or attitude-wise.
2 balls, no strikes. Knight, right-hand batter. Been with the Reds, Houston, and now with the Mets, and here's the pitch on the way. Swing and a foul back off to the left side. Oh, Fan had it and lost it. 2 balls and a strike.
Jim Thompson, if he'd been sitting there near his usual seat, never would have blown that one.
Well, Billy Connors, the pitching coach, just did some PR work, went over and got it, and flipped it right up into that box seat. 2 balls, 1 strike. Knight appears to be in more of a batting crouch, doesn't he, Lou?
Yeah.
He's really leaning over. There's a drive out into left center field, pretty well hit, but the wind will knock it right down for Denier, and it is 1 away. That's 2 balls now that have been well hit. You can just see what the wind does to it.
Yes, indeed. And Denier was playing Knight over into right center more so than usual. And I think Knight is in that crouch to pull the ball more. And consequently, it was high enough where that wind held it up in the air so Denier could get under it.
All right, now here is catcher Mike Fitzgerald. He's done well against the Cubs, hitting .341. Right-hand batter. Pitcher Darling due up next. Fitzgerald, a .243 hitter, and takes a strike right down the middle. 2 home runs this year, 31 RBIs. But they look beyond his stats with the job he's done catching for them.
He's improved this ball club tremendously since becoming their #1 catcher.
Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss. He just blew one by him, and it's 0-2.
He's a good right field hitter. Now, normally he will go to right field. Perhaps he will with 2 strikes on him. That time he tried to drive one to left. He had so much power behind that swing that his back foot left the ground before he actually took a complete swing.
Ready again. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a foul up to the right side, out of play.
Reminds me, Fitzgerald in there. Johnny Stearns, our longtime catcher, back with the ball club. And there'll be a lot of Johnny Stearns friends and fans listening today as KOA in Denver, Colorado, picks up today's broadcast.
0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch on the way. Just missed. Nobody on and 1 down. Sutcliffe has retired the first 7 Mets to face him here. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Sutcliffe a little extra time, shakes off Jody again. Now has the one he likes, and as he took that long, Fitzgerald going to make him wait a moment. 1-2. Sutcliffe ready, and the 1-2 on the way. Swing, did he go? They're asking. First base umpire said no, he didn't. So it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Oh, he missed a heck of a chance if he didn't. 2-2. Shades of the past here today. Andy Pafko, D. Fondy. Scouting these days down below us. Just missed on the letters. Now it's 3-2. D. Fondy. First baseman, boy, he could run, too.
Yep. Look at that horse that was named after him. At times. Until I got on him.
I think Fondy was, the man was more consistent than the horse.
Ready with the payoff, and here it comes. Swinging, left field. Matthews back. Wind will just knock it right down for him. Sarge is there, going toward the line, and it's 2 away.
Another ball well hit, Milo. Without that wind, that might have been trouble.
Now the pitcher, Ron Darling. In his starts against the Cubs this year, he's been to bat 6 times, collected 2 hits. So Sutcliffe will be trying to go through the order the first time around with the minimum. And he's looking at Darling now, but before he does, having a little trouble with one of his spikes. 8 up, 8 down so far. Darling is ready. Sutcliffe takes a look around. Sutcliffe seems to be more deliberate here today about something. I know he's not comfortable. You wouldn't know by the way he's pitching, but
No.
He doesn't usually take that much time.
No. He's concentrating a little bit more on every pitch, regardless of who's the batter.
1 ball, no strikes. Pitch on the way to Darling. Swing and a miss gave him the curveball.
The beauty.
Darling, not a bad hitting pitcher. So Rick doesn't want to make a mistake with him. He just bent one off like he was batting 4th.
Today is tough on outfielders and infielders, and also on the pitcher if he waits too long, because that cool or chill wind hits them right in the back.
Swing and a miss, another breaking ball, and it's 1-2.
You'll see infielders walk around and move a lot today, trying to just keep that chill away from their body.
1-2. See if he can ring up a strikeout here, and here it comes. A little low, and it's level now to Darling at 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Oh, taking some exercises in between pitches.
Well,
If it had been this chilly and Feller was pitching, he'd have to have a heater in both pockets and in the glove.
All right, Sutcliffe ready, and the 2-2 on the way. Strike called with a fastball. Got him looking. Second strikeout for Sutcliffe. 9 up and 9 down for the big right-hander for the Cubs. We are in the middle of the 3rd with no score.
WGN invites you to spend Saturday afternoons with sports. Chuck Swirsky's Saturday edition of Sports Central spans from 1 to 6 p.m. with scores, highlights, interviews, and more on WGN, the radio home of the Chicago Cubs.
In the bottom of the 3rd, Jody Davis will be leading it off against Darling, and here's the pitch swung on. A high bouncer right at the shortstop. Convenient hop. Little high throw, but Fernandez reaches, gets it 1 away. So 1 pitch, 1 out. Before Boa stepped in, Let's break it right here on the WGN Chicago Cubs Baseball Network.
WGN Radio is Chicago and your connection with the Chicago Cubs.
Larry Boa batting 8th in the order. Darling now has retired 7 in a row. Boa has not done much with Mets pitching. 4 for 33. Against the league, he's hitting .215. A strike called over the outside corner at the knee. Batting left-handed against the right-hander Darling. Knight up into the bend in the grass at third. Breaking ball low, and it's 1-1. Remember on Sunday, the famous chicken returns to Wrigley Field by popular demand. Compliments of Brown's Chicken. You know you'll have a good time with the chicken on Sunday. That's a ball. There was a show by that name, wasn't there? Chicken Every Sunday? There was.
And I remember reading in the history book about a slogan, chicken in every pot.
Here's the 2-1. Now it's you got to watch out for fear there's a pot in every chicken.
Got to be careful.
Here's the 2-2 on the way. Swinging at a base hit into left center field. He fought off a pretty good pitch, too,
Yes,
didn't
he did. It was inside. Well, Boa mentioned on the leadoff man's show that he felt that he was swinging the bat much better in the last 2 or 3 weeks, and it's proven that. He's added some hits to his stats.
That'll bring up Sutcliffe.
Moved back away from the plate a little bit, didn't he?
He didn't say exactly what he was doing differently, Vince.
Waiting now for Sutcliffe to dig around in that dirt. He likes to hit, too. Sutcliffe, the last time he batted against New York, hit a bases-loaded double after they walked the hitter ahead of him, and he says, I'm not that easy. And he hit one over the center fielder's head to the warning track at Shea. He was going to swing there. Boy, Hernandez and Knight were coming up as if the bunt were on. Oh, did they hit the grass. 1 ball, no strikes. Sutcliffe against New York, 3 for 10 with 2 runs batted in. Throw to first, and wasn't close because Hernandez was 10 feet in front of the bag.
That's where Stargell used to play, somewhat like that.
But then he'd back up. Hernandez was still out of position. He's expecting the bunt, but no bunt there. Low outside, ball 2. So Darling, after retiring the first 7, gave up a clean single to Boa. John Vukovic over to say something to Boa. He wasn't bunting on the first 2. It may be with Vukovic moving over. They wanted to make sure if the sign had been changed. Throw to first, not close.
A lot of times, a pitcher on the mound, thinking that a man will bunt, will hurry his throw and come running up too quickly, and consequently, that time, Darling stayed back on the mound to get more leverage on his good fastball.
And Hernandez wants to make sure they're on the same wavelength. He came clear in from first to the mound, talking about what the signs are here. 2 balls, 1 strike. Sutcliffe waiting. 2-1 pitch. Swing and a big foul. Boy, I tell you, he loves to swing that bat.
He does.
Yeah, he's taken 2 real good cuts here.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Boa on, 1 down. Boa single, the only hit in the early going on either side. Now, Darling and Sutcliffe facing one another right here.
Boa has stolen 9 bases. Don't be surprised if he doesn't take off.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well,
Throw over, not close.
that'll drive Boa back from his lead.
Now he goes back to that lead. Stretching. Not going. Outside of ball. He's full now to Sutcliffe. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Throw over. Oh, he almost threw it away.
Yeah.
Great save by Hernandez.
Very fine play by Hernandez. Had to cross his body to make that one-handed catch.
Throw first. Hey, that was closer.
Darling is worried a little bit about Boa. There's no doubt about that. Looks as if from those 2 throws over to first base, Boa will be off toward second base on this pitch.
All right, ready for the payoff? checks over the shoulder. Boa going. Here's the pitch. Down low a ball. 2-man on with 1 out. A walk to Sutcliffe. First one issued by Darling. And so the top of the order will be coming up now with Boa at second and Sutcliffe at first. And John Vukovich coming over. He wants that warm-up jacket for Sutcliffe. He truly needs it out there today.
Well, here's the first set of the ball game. Cub runners on first and second. Top of the order. Denier at bat. 1 out.
And I think the threat of Boa going from first base upset Darling a little bit and rather caused or forced that base on ball to our pitcher.
That's what I mentioned. Boa had Darling worried about him. When he throws over there twice with the pitcher at bat in the count of 3-2, you know he's worried about him.
All right, now everybody back in place. Fitzgerald had been out there talking with Darling while Sutcliffe was getting the warm-up jacket. And Bob Denier, who looked at strike 3 called in the first inning, up here now with 2 aboard and only 1 out. Darling to the belt, hesitates there, delivers to Denier, shows bunt, takes it high, a ball, and it's 1-0. Darling looking in. He wanted to know where that pitch was.
Yeah, he's a little worried now on the calls by Kibler. There's a lot going through a youngster's mind out there in the middle of that diamond.
1 ball, no strikes. He knows full well that he needs to do a job for his club today. That's a strike. Dropped down on him that time.
Yes, first sidearm pitch that he's thrown. He used a lot of sidearm fastballs in New York.
A ball and a strike. Davis started the inning going after the first pitch, bouncing to short. Then Boa got a clean single to left center. Sutcliffe worked him for a walk. And the 1-1 to Denier. Low inside a ball, and it's 2-1. Sandberg on deck, then it'll be Matthews. 2 balls, 1 strike. Cubs trying to get something on the board here for Sutcliffe. Get him out in front in a big ball game at Wrigley Field. Stretch pitch on the way to Denier, swinging. Line drive, left field. That's a hit. It'll take off toward the corner. Boa will score. Sutcliffe will be held at third. It's an RBI double for Denier, and the Cubs have broken on top in the 3rd inning.
Don Zimmer very smartly held Sutcliffe up at third. He could have gambled, but not with the pitcher. Very smart move by the coach on that particular play.
So Boa across the pay station, and Davy Johnson, the skipper, coming out with Sandberg due up next. They're going to have a chat on that mound. The whole infield will be in there. So Boa with his 1-out single started what could be an uprising here. It's 1-0 Cubs. And Ryan Sandberg, who bounced to short in the first inning, will be stepping in with Sutcliffe at third and Denier at second.
Now we'll have to see where the Met infield is playing as to what Sutcliffe will do. And Zimmer's pointing to the second baseman and shortstop. If a ground ball is hit to them, Sutcliffe will try to score.
All right, Darling ready as he stretches, looks to third, delivers to Sandberg. Swing and a miss on a breaking pitch, and it's strike 1. Darling retired the first 7, then the trouble started. Sandberg trying to add to that trouble. No balls and 1 strike. Matthews on deck. Bottom of the 3rd, Darling looks to third. Here's the pitch. Low a ball, and it's 1-1. Sandberg looking down to Zimmer. Sign given by Fitzgerald. The Met right-hander ready. Here's the pitch. Swinging and a foul up to the right side. They're playing him to pull in left and in center. Pretty good hole in right center, although Strawberry has moved, maybe 4 or 5 steps toward right center.
I think they're going to serve Sandberg curveballs in a particular jam, Milo. Let's see how he sets him up this time.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Stretch pitch on the way. Swinging fly ball, right field. Strawberry there. Should be deep enough to send Sutcliffe. Catch is made. The throw to the plate will never be in time. And another run is in. It's a sacrifice fly. RBI. Sutcliffe scores to make it 2-0. Denier running right behind him moves over to third.
Strawberry did not have a good arm on that particular throw, but the ball was hit deep enough to score Sutcliffe from right field. Hernandez cut the throw off, threw it to the plate, but Sutcliffe had already completed his slide across. 2-0 lead for the Cubs.
Here's Gary Matthews, struck out swinging the first time up. Boy, this would be a big run to pick up right here, good kids.
Yes, indeed.
Matthews will be batting with a teammate at third. 2 down, 2 runs across. Here's the pitch to Matthews. Swing and a foul back. He wasn't waiting there. Darling fell behind him 3-0 the first time up. Ended up coming back and getting him. Strike 1 to count. Durham would be next. We're in the third. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Low inside, a good stop of it by Fitzgerald.
He forced that pitch, and it looks as if Darling is not relaxed on the mound right now as he's trying to force his fastball.
Trying to pitch outside himself right now, isn't he?
Yes. He wants to try to save that run. He trails 2-0. 2 big runs for Sutcliffe.
Glances to third, winding pitch on the way. That's a breaking pitch down and away a ball, and it's 2-1. 2 hits, a walk, and a sacrifice fly in the inning. The wind up and the 2-1 on the way. Way inside, and it's 3-1. And Durham, a left-hand hitter, where that wind is blowing, he could get some help today. But it's blowing from the left field corner to the right field corner. Swing, a bullet off the pitcher's knee. It'll bounce right to Hernandez, and the side's retired. Thought Willie Hoppy never did it better.
Oh, let me tell you, Darling quickly is running off of that field. Now he's really sitting down and in pain in that dugout.
They got the perfect carom, but the Cubs get on the board with a pair. They scored 2 runs on 2 hits. No errors, a walk. 1 man left. At the end of 3, it's the Chicago Cubs 2 and the New York Mets nothing.
Hello again, everybody. With Lou Goodrow, Vince Floyd, and Milo Hamilton, this is Harry Carey at Wrigley Field, where the Cubs have taken a 2-0 lead. We go into the 4th inning. That last out of the 3rd inning was a hot smash off of Ron Darling's leg. That may be that nobody's warming up in the bullpen, so apparently he's all right.
Well, he's walking around in the dugout. He did have an ice pack on it.
All right, let's see if Sutcliffe now did a little running on the bases. See if it'll have any effect on him. He's retired 9 in a row so far. First pitch high and outside. 1 ball, no strikes, nobody on, nobody out. Top of the 4th, 2-0 in favor of the Cubs. Here's Bachman. Bunting foul, and the count evens up, a ball and a strike. Wally Bachman hitting .275 for the year, but .304 against the Cubs. A ball and a strike. Now Sutcliffe gets ready. The pitch. He taps one foul down the first base line. Boy, Leon Durham beats first base coach Bill Robinson to it. Capacity crowd, standing room only here today.
Andy?
Cubs expect to go over the 2 million mark. Hey, Andy, how are you?
Doesn't he look great? Andrew Papko?
Andy, you got any World Series tickets?
He had some from 45 that's left over.
They're not good today, though. Andy, just stick around here. I want to talk to you a minute. What? Andy, just stick around here. I want to talk to you a minute. Wally Bachman. Here's the pitch on the way. Fastball high and outside. I thought you guys were lucky to beat the Cardinals in 45.
Yeah, we were battling right down the wire. Remember, Harry?
Great race. Yeah.
Right. I know we clinched it in Pittsburgh. About a day left.
Boy, wouldn't it be great to have the Cubs and the Tigers again like it was in 45?
Well, it looks like this might be the year, Harry. You never know. With a different result.
Here's the pitch a little bit low. 3 balls, 2 strikes. I tell you, if the Cubs can just get into the World Series, I don't think anybody really cares how the World Series would come out.
That's right. That's your main objective.
Yeah.
Get to the top, right.
You look terrific.
Well, thank you, Harry. I always come out once in a while. Every time I come out, I say hello to you.
Well, I'm glad you do. Make that a promise to do that.
Right. Okay, Harry.
Andy Papko, the great center fielder of the Cubs. By the way, Andy, I think not since your heyday, and that's It's been a while now. Have we had a center fielder as good defensively as you used to be?
Well, this kid really go get the ball, Harry. He's going to be around for a long time.
There's a line drive in the right field for Backman, and there's the first hit. He's going to try for second to throw. He is out! A perfect throw from Moreland to Larry Boa. Listen to the crowd.
Well, I can't understand that kind of a gamble.
I don't either.
2 runs behind. He's leading off the inning. That was not a good gamble, in my opinion.
And he had the play right in front of him.
Boy, I tell you, though, it was bang, bang. He almost caught Moreland by surprise.
That always happens, almost,
Yeah.
when you shouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Then he followed with a perfect throw. And Larry Boa laid it right on the sliding spikes. Here's Mookie Wilson now. Fastball in there, a strike call.
I just think it's a bad time for that kind of a gamble. But I'm glad he did it.
Well, maybe they feel 8 games out on the lost side. Why not play loose?
It's all right with me.
Nothing ventured, nothing gained.
Oh, now, Harry, you know better than that.
I'm enjoying it to the
Well,
fullest.
so am I enjoying it. But some of our fans might believe you.
They know I'm only kidding.
Oh.
Here's the pitch. And he started to swing. He held up. They appealed, but the third base umpire, Jim Quick, says no, he did not go around. 2 balls and a strike. 1 out. Backman got the first hit, but he didn't last long to enjoy it. As he was thrown out trying to stretch it into a double. The pitch to Mookie Wilson is high. Ball 3. You think that running on the bases could have a little effect on Sutcliffe?
No, I don't think so, Harry. It's cool. It's really chilly out there. I don't believe that has any bearing whatsoever because he has great stuff out there on the mound.
Here's the pitch. A ground ball headed for center field. Up. Sandberg reached far but couldn't come up with it.
Ball wouldn't come up for him, would it?
A single to center.
And the fans started to yell for Mookie to go, go, go.
Well, you can see now the importance of Backman's play. They would have had runners at first and third with nobody out. Instead, they still have a runner at first, but 1 out.
He hung a curveball to Bachman to get back to Bachman, a high curveball that he pulled. And this one was on the count of 3-1.
Sandberg almost cut it off, but it was skipped by him. Here now is Hernandez. Probably the best hitter in their lineup. A good, solid hitter. Hits the ball everywhere. Quick throw! He almost had Mookie leaning the wrong way.
Very close.
Here's the pitch high. I'm amazed you guys never asked me what Mookie spelled backwards sounds.
I don't want to know.
Let's get back to the ball game.
That's why I didn't ask you.
Well, in
back
as
to the
much
ball
as
game.
I coom.
You do, huh?
That's what the Mookie is backwards.
You put a handkerchief over your nose when you do that?
You guys just don't have a sense of humor. You act like this game's important.
Nah. It is for the Mets.
One boy, yeah, it's do or die for them. Here's a pitch, and it's high. 2 balls, no strike. Sutcliffe seems to be struggling a little more in this inning, but has good stuff, as Lou mentioned. Big, strong right-hander. 2 hits in a row, but they have 1 out and 1 on. Comes out in front 2-0. Sutcliffe tosses the ball over to Durham. Now ready? The pitch. Way outside, ball 3.
Now, I'm not going to make any excuses for the man, but I've been through it. when you play in Cleveland and that Lake Erie winds come in, just like it is coming in here tonight. He ran around the bases. He perspired, perhaps, because he had his jacket on. Now he goes out there on the mound. Inside, he's warm and hot. Now you've got that cold breeze hitting him right in the back, which might have some effect on him.
3 balls, no strikes, the pitch. Strike call. He had retired 9 in a row before Backman singled to start the 4th, and very unwisely tried to stretch into a double, and Moreland's perfect throw got him. Throw over to first, the runner back. The wind's been blowing in out of the north at 12 miles an hour. The pitch, lined in the left center field, will be caught. Gary Matthews is there. Hernandez fly to Matthews. 2 men are gone. Here's Darryl Strawberry. Struck out his first time up. A typical football day more than baseball today. It's supposed to be warmer and clear tomorrow. It's cloudy and cool today. Now ready. Toss over to first base. 2 men are out, Strawberry to hit it. He's batting .245. Against the Cubs, he's hitting .255. With only 1 homer. There's the pitch a little bit low, a slider. 1 ball, no strikes. Boy, oh boy. Rick Talley's in our booth.
I hardly knew him. I haven't seen him with a suit on before.
There goes a runner. There's a throw. They save for the stolen base.
I've never before seen Talley with a suit on.
His 47th.
His 47th.
43rd stolen base.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Talley's suits.
It seems so strange to see Talley, now a native son of Southern California, where they never wear coats and ties, looking like a sedate businessman.
Professor. Don't be fooled, though. Appearances can be deceiving.
So they have a man in scoring position with 2 out. The count is 1-1 on Strawberry. Ball game in the 4th. Now the delivery. Inside and high. 2 balls and a strike. Mookie Wilson very fast. They bunch Strawberry towards center to give him both lines. Strawberry very reminiscent of the great one and only Ted Williams. Tall, slim. The pitch. Bouncing ball ought to be out of the inning. Sandberg's got it. Over to first to retire the side. No runs, 2 hits. No errors, 1 left. We go to the bottom of the 4th, 2-0, Chicago. With Lou Boudreau and Vince Lloyd. Harry Carey back at Wrigley Field as we go now into the top of the 5th with George Foster leading it off. Foster flied out his first time at bat. 2-0, the Cubs are leading. Boy, this World Series atmosphere here today. Weather included. The pitch. And a fastball a little bit low, ball 1. Rich Sutcliffe shooting for his 15th victory of the year. For the Cubs, he's only been beaten once. 1 ball, no strikes, the pitch. Breaking ball a little bit low. Ned Coletti of the publicity office of the Cubs has listed what some of the other great pitchers have done since June the 13th, the date that Sutcliffe was acquired by the Cubs. 2 balls, no strikes. The pitch, curve in there, a beauty. Andahar has won 9, lost 7. Only Gooden of the Mets with 11 and 3 has even come close. Soto, Nepford, Necro, Shao, Kuzma, all good pitchers. Nowhere near Sutcliffe's record. And in the American League, only Bert Blyleven of the Indians with 11 and 3 has been close. Here's a pitch. He went around on a breaking ball. 2-2. Sutcliffe, since June the 13th, has won 14 and lost 1. And had another game in which he struck out 15, allowed only 3 hits, walked only 1, and still was not the winner. So, 2-2 pitch. There's a little broken back, pop fly, gonna drop, base hit. Here goes Foster holding up at first base. Backman taught him a lesson.
Yes, indeed. He had double on his mind when the ball left his bat.
Yeah, had it taken it bounced, gotten away from Mullen, he would have gambled.
Foster busted his bat on Allen. Here now is Hubie Brooks. Bounced out to Say his first time up. 2-0, the Cubs are leading. The Mets, in a do-or-die series for them, the Cubs have an 8-game lead on the lost side. Now to stretch the fifth. Line drive, center field, come on, Dernier. He's there waiting. Brooks hit that ball hard right at Dernier in center field. 1 away. Here's Ray Knight. Knight flied out his first time at bat. Same 2 teams tomorrow afternoon. The game getting underway 1 hour later than usual at 2:20. And then again Sunday back to the normal time of 1:20. Then after off day Monday, the Cubs play the Pirates 3 games in a row here. It could well be that one of the 3 games with Pittsburgh will provide the division clinching game. Ah, happy day. Here's the pitch a little bit inside. Bullpen again active for the Mets. I don't know whether that's because of the possibility of the use of a pinch hitter or whether because Darling is hurting.
Probably a little of both, Harry.
Probably. 1 ball, no strikes. The delivery. Curveball. Swung on, a little pop fly. Moreland coming in. He has it.
Boy, Sutcliffe fooled him badly on that pitch, didn't he?
Good breaking pitch tonight.
You know, Knight is 0 for 13 against Cubs pitching since he joined the Mets. Here's Mike Fitzgerald, the catcher. To the contrary, Fitzgerald has hit well against the Cubs. 341 against Cubs pitching. Overall, he's only hit 243. 2 out. Runner at first base. Ball game in the 5th. Now to stretch the pitch. Good fastball at the knee.
Rusty Staub's getting ready in the dugout just in case they need him.
Darling is in the on-deck circle. Now to stretch the pitch. He was going to bunt his way on, but he missed. He's in the hole 0-2. You know, it's no accident that the Cubs are leading the Mets. They have beaten them in head-to-head battle 10 out of 15.
And 6 out of 6 here at Wrigley Field.
6-0. Right. So when you beat the team that's trying to catch you that handily and head-to-head battle, I think it pretty well indicates that you are the stronger of the 2. Runner at first base, 2 out. Ball game in the 5th. 2-0 Cubs. The delivery. Hey, struck him out. A good breaking ball. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. We're going into the bottom of the 5th. The Cubs are out in front 2-0. Ixwad Nawell. Not too shabby.
Pitch has been thrown, Harry.
A ball and a strike, Lou. You haven't missed a thing.
Well, I've been listening to you.
A ball and a strike, nobody on, nobody out. Swung on a high. Pop foul, the wind is going to take it out of play. Souvenir for somebody. Well, let me see. You don't like it? I'm going to... UAE. Yes.
Yes, go ahead. Use that one.
UOB.
Now, just be careful.
Here's the pitch. Swung on, a bouncing ball to the first baseman, Hernandez. Steps on the bag for the out.
Tough one, isn't it?
Boudreaux fell backward. You're due-out. Good due-out. That's a good. One out, nobody on, and here's Larry Boa, who started the two-run rally with a base hit in the third. The significant about Larry's hit was that the Mets had held him to a 121 batting average going into this game. Yet, nobody had reached base when Boa, for either team, when Boa singled with one out in the third. This time he hits a one-hopper. Second baseman has it over the first for the out.
I'll say one thing about him. He's never stopped hustling, running down that line.
Well, he's of that vintage, Lou. That's the pro.
Yes.
The guy who's been around the block, who's known what it is to sniff at the roses.
I talked to him. I talked to him on the leadoff man show, and I said, you're a little peeved when Jim Fry kept you out of a few ball games after the All-Star break. And I says, I know you want to play every day. Everybody wants to play every day. But right now, I think you're as strong as you were when we opened up the season, so that little rest helped you.
Yeah. Here's the pitch to Sutcliffe, and he pops it up. Beckman, the second baseman, is there. Easy out. 1-2-3, nothing across. Well, this game is really rolling. At the end of 5, Cubs are leading 2-0. 4 of the 5 innings, he pitched perfectly, retiring the side 1-2-3. But in the third, with one out, a single by Boa, a walk to Sutcliffe, a double by Dernier, and a sacrifice fly by Sandberg, accounted for 2 runs.
Pitching lineup, Darling. 5 innings, 2 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts.
Here's Dan Heath, batting .231, 1 homer, 10 RBI. Ball game in the top of the 6th. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you might be. The pitch now, a fastball low. 1 ball, no strikes. Coming down to the end of the line, here's the pitch. There's a drive into center field, but boy, that's where you want everybody to hit it.
Isn't that the truth?
Right towards Dernier. 1 out. Danny Heath flies to Dernier. That's his 4th foot out there. Here's Wally Beckman, who got the first hit, a single to right in the 4th inning, and he was thrown out trying to stretch it on a perfect throw by Keith Moreland. 1 out, nobody on. We're in the 6th. Here's the pitch on the way. Good fastball after me, a strike call. Hello, Ed Langto. Where's Pat Summerall? The heck with you, Ed. We got to go with a name talent, Ed. Here's the pitch a little bit. Hello, Pat.
Harry, how you doing?
Good to see you. How's everything?
Everything's great.
Good ball game, huh?
Great ball game. On our way to Green Bay to do the Bear game on
Oh,
Sunday.
that'll be a dandy Sunday.
Should be.
Bring the Bears in.
Yeah. We blame you if they lose.
Okay. I accept.
Pat Summerall, the fine broadcaster of so many national events for CBS, and the spokesman for True Value Hardware.
And a heck of a guy.
And he's got Ed Langto, who's trying to get him down in price a little bit, I guess.
I want Mr. Langto to know that his True Value Hardware store in Dalton, Mr. Rodenberg, fixed up our numbers for us. Did a very fine job, sir.
The magic numbers right
Magic
here.
number.
Yeah. 1 and 2 to count. The delivery. And it's a fastball a little bit outside, ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 out, nobody on, 6th inning. Cubs are leading the Mets 2-0. Rick Sutcliffe going for his 15th victory of the year. He's only lost once. Now, the pitch. Strike call. Struck him out. Backward called out on strike. 2 away. He didn't like that call. Here's Mookie Wilson. Mookie Wilson with 2 out. Ball game of the 6th. Here's the pitch. Fastball a little bit outside, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. 2 men are gone, 6th inning. Mookie Wilson singled in the 4th. Here's the pitch. Slider a little bit high. 2 balls, no strikes. 2 men are out. Big crowd on hand, more of the same tomorrow and again Sunday. And don't forget the Pittsburgh Pirates. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I say don't forget, because very conceivably in one of those days, and the Tuesday game we're going to be out in the bleachers, by the way, one of those days could be that ecstatic day when the Cubs clinch the Eastern Division title. If it doesn't happen on this homestand, then it certainly will happen in St. Louis.
I hope it happens here.
Me too.
Me 3.
Here's the pitch. A bouncing ball up the middle through a base hit. Sandberg again made a valiant attempt, but he couldn't reach Mookie Wilson's ground single to center. 2 men are out. Here's Keith Hernandez. Jody Davis out in front of the plate. He wants a new baseball. Rick Sutcliffe does.
Yeah,
Hernandez 0 for 2.
Harry, you were talking a while ago about how the Cubs have handled the Mets. And since the 1st of June, no team in baseball has a record comparable to that of the Cubs. They've won 61, lost 38 since June the 1st.
And the Detroit Tigers have had the great record of the American League. What a wonderful World Series that would make. Here's the pitch, and it's a little bit outside. And not just because of the nostalgia of the 1945 replay either, but 2 solid ball clubs with great records.
Both teams
shooting for their 89 victory today.
Both teams with great power and great pitching, so it's going to be an equal affair if they both get there.
And both playing in the same kind of ballpark, where the ball carries and you usually have a lot of home runs, a lot of hitting. Could be a tremendous hitters World Series.
We are going to get into the playoffs. San Diego is going to be a tough opponent.
Whoa, quick throw, and Sutcliffe,
He fell.
hope he didn't get hurt. He fell down as he threw to first base. He's all right. Sutcliffe is fan 4. That's a small total for him. Now the stretch pitch, there goes the runner, swung on. A high drive, left field will be caught. Matthews under the ball to retire the side. I tell you, the Mets have hit a few balls today. Had the wind been blowing out rather than in, it might have been dangerous. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. 1 left. We go into the bottom of the 6th, 2-0 Chicago. Let's pause. It's the WGN Chicago Cubs Baseball Network.
WGN Radio is Chicago and the place for all the Cubs action.
Carry back at Wrigley Field. We go down to the bottom of the 6th. Here's Bobby Dernier. He started the scoring with a double to the left. Here's the pitch. Brent Gaff is the new pitcher out of Fort Wayne, Indiana, Lou.
For Gaff, he's won 3, lost 2. Earned an average of 3.36. This is his 41st game. No saves to his credit. He's pitched 75 innings, allowed 69 hits.
He pitches a little high, and that evens the count. A ball and a strike.
Harry, one of the stations with us today for our first game, KOA Denver. I think you had a little chat with them this morning, didn't you?
No.
Out in Denver?
I think I'm supposed to chat with them this evening.
Okay, yeah, you better be home.
1-1 pitch. There's a strike call. He shortened up as if he were going to bunt. 1-2. In the mornings, I refuse to talk to anybody except Wally Phillips. Proving I'm a front runner.
I can understand why.
Here's the pitch and he foul tips on a check swing. I figure you might as well, you'd have to wake up early in the morning. You might as well talk to the most popular morning man in the world, Wally Phillips. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's a pitch fouled out of play into the upper deck. My feelings are hurt, though.
Why is that?
I used to get to talk to the popular afternoon guy, Bob Collins, but now
He's too busy.
he never calls me anymore.
He's very, very busy.
2 balls, 2 strikes. I must have said something he didn't like. 2-2 pitch. I wish I could remember what it was so I could say it again. Ball 3 outside to Bobby Dernier. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody on, nobody out. Bottom of the 6th. Cubs lead 2-0. The pitch. A little tap. He's got a chance to beat it out. He will. A base hit for Bobby Dernier. Brent Gaff reached for the ball barehanded, but could not make contact with it. So that gives Dernier 2 out of 3 today. Here's Sandberg. Drove in his 80th run of the year in the 3rd inning. Can you imagine a second-place hitter with 80 RBIs, 19 homers, leads in triples and doubles, and slugging percentage? That's offense, besides hitting over 300.
I wonder what he'll do next year to top it.
Defensively, he's made only 5 errors all year. Now ready. 1 ball, no strikes. Dernier made a false start. Here's ball 2 outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Sandberg will celebrate his 25th birthday on the 18th of this month. That'll be Tuesday. There's ball 3 outside. 3 balls, no strikes. Gary Matthews coming up next. Brent Gaff. 25-year-old right-hander, the pitch. There goes a runner. Ball 4. He would have had a stolen base, but he will not get it now because it was ball 4 to Sandberg.
Unusual play for Dernier. 3-0. He got that lead because Gaff was concentrating on trying to throw a strike. He had second base stolen very easily.
Yeah. But you can't blame Sandberg for taking it either because now, knowing it was ball 4, it gives the Cubs runners at first and second with nobody out and a chance here to really nail it down. Here's the old side. Runners at first and second. Nobody out. Doug Sisk is starting to warm up. There's a strike call. Right-handed relief pitcher of the Mets. 1 strike to nothing. Joan and Jack Barry and my wife Betsy and my son Chris all sitting right behind home plate. Jack Barry being the prominent attorney, former football star, Notre Dame under Frank Leahy. His dad, Judge Norman Barry, who played at Notre Dame, was the other halfback for George Gift many years ago. 3 generations of Barrys at Notre Dame. Here now is the pitch. He started the swing, tried to check. Strike two. Now let's see what the Cubs are going to do. 0-2 the count. Dernier at second, Sandberg at first, both with good leads. They might start for runners. Now, Gary Matthews called Stein. Here's a wild pitch. The runners are advancing. There's Dernier on third holding up. Whoa, whoa, they almost threw the ball wildly to the pitcher. The catcher, Mike Fitzgerald. The ball hit the backstop screen and then deflected over towards the Cubs dugout on the third base side. And Fitzgerald chased it all the way. A wild pitch. His fifth for Brent Gaff.
And then he frantically threw the ball towards the plate without even looking to see where the runners were. He got down there and threw it into the Mets dugout.
Well, I knew mentioning Bob Collins would wake him up. There's the stretch, the pitch with the infield in. Oh, he swung at a bad ball. Matthews strikes out.
Tough curve.
Here comes Leon Durham. They'll probably walk in to get to Moreland. Yep, they're going to walk him. That'll fill the bases. Keith Moreland will be coming up with the bases loaded. Will be in the WGN studio after the game to appear on the Bob Collins Show. And Moreland fancies himself, you know, as a country western singer.
He's not too bad.
He has done, he has recorded a song, and maybe they'll play it today.
I have heard him in the clubhouse, Jody Davis, singing with him. They're not bad.
In the showers?
No.
Oh.
No.
Did they have a line in it? Jody Davis.
No, it was a good song.
Here he comes, Keith Moreland. With the bases loaded, one out. I hope he gets a hit so Uncle Bobby won't cut him up into little pieces. Bases loaded, one out. The pitch. Swung, and he fouled it back.
You better have a petition between him and Moreland if he starts cutting up Moreland.
Yeah. All right, let's see, Bud. Collins is from Florida, isn't he? Moreland from Texas.
Yeah.
I want you to know, Bobby, Moreland's a former linebacker at the University of Texas. Ground ball, they won't get a double play or not. Everybody may be safe. Oh, Moreland is retired with Gaff taking the throw from Backman, but a run scored. It was a lone dribbler towards Backman that Keith Hernandez tried to cut off.
I thought Keith went out of position to try to field that ball. The ball wasn't hit hard enough for a double play, nor could he force the man at the plate because he was so far in front of Bachman.
So the run scores. It'll be a run batted in for Moreland, his 76th of the year.
He almost boxed it up, Hernandez, rather, for everybody.
Now they're going to walk Say intensely to get to Jody Davis. 3-0, the Cubs are leading. On the out at first base, which went 3-4-1, the pitcher taking the throw from Backman. The runners advance to second and third. Listen to the crowd. Jody. Listen. Here comes Jody Davis with the bases loaded.
Well, these fans know that the game is out there on the base path.
They're giving Jody a standing ovation as he steps to the plate. He's driven in 86 runs this year. Here's Gaff's pitch. There's a long drive deep center field. Way back. It might be. It is. A home run. A grand slam. Holy cow. Against the wind. Let it out. Jody Davis talks well with his bat. Jody Davis. All right, Bower's out to retire the side. But what an inning, and listen to this crowd. A grand slam, the third of his career for Jody Davis. 5 runs are in the inning. There were only 2 hits. His 19th home run of the year for Jody Davis, who now has 90 RBIs and $100 from True Value Hardware, 2 Cubs care on Northwest Memorial Hospital in the fight against cancer. The crowd still giving Jody Davis a standing ovation. What a thrill this has been.
Great.
Milo will be rejoining Vince Lemieux in a moment. Oh, he's carried back at Wrigley Field. The score at the end of 6. The Cubs 7. And the Mets nothing. As we come back, we are in the 7th inning, and 2 pitches have been thrown to Strawberry, and they are strikes. Strawberry having a little conversation with John Kidler. As we come to the 7th, I'm Milo Hamilton. Back with you on the Cubs radio side with Lou Boudreau and Vince Lloyd. Sutcliffe delivers. Came over the top, went a little low, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Strawberry has struck out, and he has bounced to second. Sutcliffe ready, and the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Took something off and struck him out.
What a great pitch. He had Strawberry upset with the 2 pitches he'd thrown earlier with the help of Kibler. And this pitch he swung on as if he didn't care what happened. He was going to swing at that pitch regardless. He walks back to that dugout very dejectedly, and that's just exactly how the entire ball club feels, I believe, in the first base dugout.
Yeah, Jody's grand slam might have let some air out of that balloon.
The slam that was heard all over the country.
And into a pretty good win, Lou.
A very good win.
It was the 3rd Cubs grand slam of the year. Say and Moreland hit the other 2.
And that was Davis's 3rd, also good hit.
Of his career, right?
Yes, 3rd career grand slammer.
Hit 2 last year. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss. They're going to be swinging at his glove now.
Yeah, I think, in my observation, Sutcliffe has thrown a lot of curveballs today.
I thought he'd throw more fastballs with the wind blowing in, but he stayed right with his regular game plan, hasn't he?
That's Sutcliffe, absolutely. He won't change 1 iota from his game plan.
No balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch on the way. Swinging a high bouncer in front of second. Both charges, fires, and got him. 2 away. 2 up and 2 down in a 7th. So Foster sends a high chopper towards short. Boa coming over in front of the bag, made the play, 2 down, and brings up shortstop Hubie Brooks. Brooks today has bounced to 3rd. He's lined to center. Here's the pitch on the way to Brooks. High with a fastball. Last time Jody hit a grand slam was at Montreal on the 26th of June last year. Here's the 1-0. A ball, and it's 2-0. Ray Knight will be next. Sutcliffe delivers. That's a strike, and it's 2-1. The only trouble spot that Sutcliffe might have had, and he's got to thank Backman for some questionable base running in that 4th inning when he led off with a single into shallow center and then was out when Moreland gunned him down at second. Swinging a miss at the ball in the dirt, and I think he foul tipped it.
Yeah, he did.
Yes. So he'll get another swing. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Yeah, the Backman base running was one of those old quotes of yours, Lou. You got to admire his hustle, but question his judgment.
That's right, definitely.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the wind and a pitch on the way. Threw it in the dirt, bounced clear back to the screen. Here's another one of those days with Sutcliffe pitching, and the Cubs just seem to follow his lead with their bats as well.
Yes, they do. He pitches such a tremendous ball game. It gives them a lot of confidence. They know if they can give him 2 or 3 runs, they're going to be in the ball game all the way.
Here's the 3-2 to Brooks. Swing and a foul, just swing to protect the strike zone right there. Didn't have that good a cut. Fouled it up to the right side.
Brewster is now warming up in the bullpen. Now, that's the third man that has warmed up. Russell, the youngster Johnson, now Brewster.
Here's the payoff. Swing and a bouncer right to second. Go down into the dirt. Sandberg throws, and he got him 3 up and 3 down. So a 1-2-3 inning. And the big crowd on a Friday at Wrigley Field getting up here. In the middle of the 7th, the Chicago Cubs 7, the New York Mets nothing. Stretch over, settling down now. He'll lean back and enjoy this one. Here's the pitch. Tried to hold up the swing, and I believe he did. He did. They asked for the appeal. Third base umpire Quick says no, he didn't, and it's a ball and a strike to Sutcliffe. He walked in the third and scored. Swing and a high foul way up to the left side out of play. Reggie Patterson has now joined Brewster in the bullpen down the left side. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Way low inside. Out enjoying the game today. Following one of his great interests, the Cubs, Jimmy Davidovich. That's a strike. Sutcliffe is gone. And that is strikeout number 6 against the Cubs. But he'll get a big hand. The fans let him know as he comes back into that dugout. They're not going to let him forget it.
No, they appreciate his pitching, not his hitting.
Bob Denier, who's had a double, driven in a run, and an infield hit that triggered the 5-run 6. When 8 Cubs batted and 5 of them scored. High inside a ball to Denier. Cubs trying to cut the magic number to 7 here today. Boy, I hope you brought a 7 with you.
Boy, I'm a lucky 7. I brought the others, too.
Fouled off.
We're in the single digits now. Let's get down to that big 0.
Could happen on this homestand.
I hope so. For all the great Chicago Cubs fans here, which we deserve it, to clinch it right here in Chicago.
High of all, 2-1.
And guys, we have former Red Cloud President Pete Longe here today helping to celebrate. And Dave Beck of the Red Cloud.
Low outside of all. Did they bring their fried chicken with them?
Dave Beck is the guy who is responsible for the fried chicken right here in the booth.
3 balls, 1 strike to Denier. Sandberg due up next. Gaff delivers. Swinging and a foul out of play up to the right side, 3-2. Cubs got 2 in the 3rd, 5 in the 6th, and lead 7-0 as they bat here in the 7th inning. Three balls, 2 strikes. There's a base hit into right center. Oh, he had a scalded dog right there.
Oh, anyhow, let me tell you, he's taking charge himself.
3rd straight hit today for Bobby.
5 hits in this game, 3 of them off the reliever. Just joining us a little late. Their starting pitcher, Darling, had to leave. He was hit by a batted ball. Pitched a couple of more innings, but then it stiffened up. They had to get him out of there. Foul down the right side off the bat of Sandberg. And a hand for the security guard who made a great leap to his right and knocked it down. This crowd will yell for anything.
They're ready, I'll tell you.
I don't think it's as dark and maybe not as dramatic, but the grand slam by Jody takes me back to the Gabby Hartnett home run. Nobody will have to argue whether it was dark enough to play this one, though.
No.
Just barely.
Just barely.
2 strikes to Rhino. He's driven in a run and scored a run. Foul back into the backstop. He drove in the 2nd run in the 3rd inning with a sacrifice fly to right. He walked in the 6th. And he was on base when Jody Davis hit the grand slam. Driving in runs 4, 5, 6, and 7. Here's the stretch pitch. Swinging. Fly ball center. Mookie Wilson back. Won't carry the wind. Just going to keep it right up there for him.
and it's 2 away.
You mentioned the total run, 7. That's what we're looking for. Yep, for that third out.
Now here is Matthews. He's been up 3 times, struck out twice. It was his shot off Darling's knee that eventually forced Darling to leave the game. Denier, first base, 2 away. Outside a ball. The Cubs are batting in the 7th inning in the first game of a 3-game series, and what for the Mets has to be a must series. But if this game holds up, then they got to start not only wondering about what they're going to do the rest of the weekend, but what teams like the Phillies and Cardinals are doing behind them. They don't want to let the season go down the drain. Looping fly ball right, drops in front of Strawberry. Denier will come to third. Runners first and third. Sarge has now hit safely in 22 of his last 29 games, and it brings up Durham. They won't be able to walk him here.
Let me tell you, Sarge should have 2 hits to his credit.
Right.
Because that one he hit back at Darling was really hit. Yeah.
If it doesn't bounce right to Hernandez, it is a hit.
Oh, yeah.
Henry Cotto is going to run for Matthews. The Sarge will get the rest of the day off, and he'll get a big hand as he heads to the dugout. Pitch to the bull, low inside, ball 1.
As soon as Davis hit his grand slam, Dave Johnson, the skipper of the Mets,
Swing and a smash to short, came up on Brooks, throws the second, just did nil. Cotto, that was very, very close.
I thought Cotto was coming up after he hit the bag on his slide before the umpire Harris called him out. And what I was saying, after Davis hit his grand slammer, he just told Sis, sit down. That's it.
All right, no runs and 2 hits, 2 left. We played 7, and the Cubs are on their way. They lead New York 7-0. All right, here is Ray Knight leading it off in the 8th inning. Sutcliffe with another shutout going and a breaking ball low. You know, Sharon Panazzo from our PR office of the ball club celebrating a birthday here today.
Yeah, what is she, all about 24?
I think so. Foul back out of play. Cotto, of course, stays in the game since he ran for Matthews. We are in the 8th inning.
Good kid. Yes, you want to see a real good picture? Well,
here's the 1-1 high of all.
It all depends on what you
I don't want to hear
mean
about
by a real good picture.
This really is. This is the guy sitting in the booth at Wrigley Field. Big smile.
Yeah. That's from the Herald Tribune.
This is the Paddock Publications this week. Only it says September 5th.
Line drive hit through the left side. Knight starts the 8th with a single.
I think that's the first hit he's got against the Cubs, Milo.
That's right.
Milo, it's a great picture of you.
Oh, it's a Milo.
Oh!
This is where I want to be. Quote under it. How come they're so late getting it up here, though?
Well, Jimmy Davidovich brought it out today.
Too bad Paddock Publications didn't have an extra issue they could have sent out when they published this thing.
Well, we were on the road, and in all fairness to them now, Vinny, they had mailed several to Kay Joyce at our office, and they were there when we got back.
Good place for them.
Good. Well, I'll offer my congratulations. It's a very fine picture and a very fine article.
Well, we want to thank the young man you interviewed in New York, Mark Ruda. Spent a lot of time. The photographer took a lot of nice pictures, and we really appreciate it. Boy, you could put a frame around that and say that goes with style. Old style.
That's right.
Lou Terry says he'll buy the frame. One ball and 1 strike. Fitzgerald the batter. Knight at first, nobody out. Rich Bordy's going to work in the bullpen. Here's the pitch. Down low a ball. Rick Sutcliffe has pitched into the 8th inning and is out in front, 7-0. 2 balls, 1 strike. Swinging and a line drive into center for a base hit. Play right in front of him, so Knight will pull into second and pull up. 2 straight hits. Now they will go to their bench. Pitcher is due. So with 2 on and nobody out. Looks like Ron Hodges, one of their backup catchers. Ron Hodges will be the pinch hitter. He will bat with teammates aboard and 2 down. Ron Hodges hitting .202, 1 homer, and 10 runs batted in. We didn't see him in that series at New York at all. And since Fitzgerald's taken over that job, we haven't seen him behind that plate much at all since early in the year. Down low of all. Hodges has only batted 6 times against the Cubs this year, and he is 1 for 6. Gardner has started to throw in their bullpen. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 on, nobody out. Sutcliffe ready. Here's the pitch. Swing, and they miss. Oh, he came over the top and busted one. 1 ball, 1 strike to Hodges. He's batting for Gaff. Now Lee Smith has started to throw in the bullpen along with Bordy. And with the 2 men on, Jody going out to talk to Sutcliffe. That'll give Smitty a chance to throw a few more pitches out there. You've got a 7-0 lead. Big Artis Gilmore walking in the aisle down here below us. What a guy. And always faithful to one of your favorites. Good kid. He always shows up for the Quinlan, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. He's very good.
1 ball, 1 strike. Swinging and a liner sinking in front of Sandberg. It's in play. Throw to second, over to first. It's a double play. Sandberg alertly. He didn't wait for the umpire to call. He says, I got to get rid of this. We got chance for 2, and turn it they did.
And how smart Boa was. The ball was hit so sharply, he took a glance at the runner going to third. And then decided, I've got to get the sure double play, and went to first base.
Cubs make their 131st double play of the year. Oh, what a spot to get it right there. Wally Backman, who is 1 for 3, will be leading it off.
I'm going to tell you something. When you get here in the 7th and 8th inning, and in the 9th, when a rally is started by the opposition, Sutcliffe reaches back and has something left for that particular situation.
And boy, he can be deceiving to you once in a while. Here's the pitch now to Backman, swinging a foul right here below us. You know, we've seen some games, especially if he's been running the base pass or if it's a very hot game, and we said, boy, oh boy, does he have anything?
Yeah, that's right.
And he does just what you talked about. He reaches back.
And he has it left. He does such a tremendous job out there.
Runner at third, Ray Knight, 2 down. A strike 1 count to Wally Backman, batting left-handed. Sutcliffe ready, stretches. Here's the pitch on the way to the plate. Swing and a smash up the middle, and they are on the board. If that ball doesn't take a great big leap, Boa might have had a shot at Backman, but it jumped over Boa by a couple of feet, and they get the run home, and it is 7-1 Cubs.
The ball was hit very sharply, and consequently, when it comes off of that grass, it hits the dirt part. With that overspin on it, it's apt to do most anything, and it did. It jumped right over Boa's head.
So the shutout is gone. Now you concentrate on nailing it down. Here's Mookie Wilson, 2 for 3. Mets have now out-hit the Cubs, 7-6. But Jody Davis's grand slam put it out of sight. Foul back into the screen, strike 1. Way to go travel with a group out today.
Yes, indeed, and I think they're going to bring some more people out tomorrow.
There's a bouncer, second base, great big hop. Sandberg throws, side retired. Quite a bit of traffic, but the Mets have to settle for 1 run. They get the run on 3 hits. Backman drives in Knight. No errors, 1 left. We'll come to the bottom of the 8th with the Cubs leading 7-1.
Well, come on, pretty baby, won't you go today?
Get ready for a whole new sport.
We going off-road surfing in my Chevrolet. track and see what I mean.
It's Chevy S10 with shift on the go Instatrack four-wheel drive.
We're turning out, baby, on a double band.
Just leave the road behind
Sip my Chevy in the youngster track.
and leave the competition rocking your tubs.
To the hills on Saturday night. I'll from surfing in the pale moonlight. Well, Chevy four-wheelers are super machine. Drift into Instatrack and see what I mean.
Danny, the baseball game was last week. No one cares anymore. But I was safe. You were out. My dad says he got a picture of it. You'll see I was safe.
Catch baseball's great moments from Color VR 400 color print film. It can stop sports heroes in their tracks.
Okay, here's the picture. Will you say? Look, let's be mature about this. It's not who wins or loses. It's how you play the game. You were out.
Kodak, because time goes by.
Complete Big Ten reports, including a commentary from Commissioner Wayne Duke, and the Notre Dame report featuring in-depth interviews, both come your way every Friday night at 6:30 on WGN's Sports Central. Here tonight. New pitcher is on Gardner. We'll take a look at his figures in a moment. He's ready to work to Moreland, and the pitch on the way. Swing and a foul off to the right. Wind will blow it away from Hernandez. Let's check on Gardner.
He's won one, lost one, a 6.75 earned run average. This is his 18th game. He has one save to his credit. He's only pitched 20 innings, allowed 26 hits and 15 runs. He's walked 4 and he's struck out 16.
Wes Gardner, tall right-hander, delivers. Swing, bouncer, right of second baseman. Backman, backhand, throws, makes the play. Moreland is out, one away in the 8th. Gardner is facing the Cubs for the 5th time. No wins, 1 loss. 5 innings in the 5 outings, 10 hits, 6 runs all earned, 2 walks, both intentional, struck out 7. Of his 4 previous outings, he's only had 1 good one against the Cubs. Here is Ron Say 0 for 2. Walked him intentionally the last time up, and Jody made that backfire with a grand slam. Understand that Edith Marr is a great Cub fan and listens to Cubs radio every day. Edith Marr celebrating her 72nd birthday today. So happy birthday to Edith Marr, and I know she's got to enjoy this one today.
Yes, indeed.
1 ball, 1 strike. Pitch to Say, backs him off the plate, 2-1. Also a group of ladies up from the Rock Island Argus newspaper out in the Quad Cities. Helen Hartman, Margaret Carr, Margaret Christensen, and Minerva Hopper. Swing and a miss and a breaking pitch. And those 4 ladies from Rock Island bring greetings from the sports editor of the Argus, Murray Hurt. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 out and nobody on as the Cubs bat in the 8th. They're on top, 7-1. Swing and a foul back out of play. Cubs have 7 runs on 6 hits. The biggest blow of all, a grand slam by Jody Davis, the 3rd of his career. Jody now has hit 4 of his home runs this year against the New York Mets. 2-2 pitch, way high inside. And for Jody, that broke a bit of a dry spell too, good kid, because he hadn't hit a homer since the 21st of August.
That's right.
Hit it off Zambito of Houston right here. Here's the 3-2, swing, smash, fair ball, down toward the left field bullpen. It'll dive past the mound, and Say will stand with a double. 23 doubles for the Penguins. Now the crowd going to give Jody Davis another big hand as he steps into the batter's box. Jody Davis, 19 homers. Runner at second base with 1 away. And that's a little close. Crowd lets Mr. Gardner know about it. It goes with the territory, I think, after you hit a grand slam.
Yeah, well, it was about belt high, and it was inside.
Stretch, look back. Here's the pitch. Started after it, laid off in time, and it's 2 balls and no strikes.
Would you say that Davis's grand slammer rocked New York?
I'll tell you one thing. If it didn't rock it, it took a big bite out of the apple. I know that. 2-0 pitch, swing, and a miss, and it's 2-1. Two and one. 2 balls and a strike. Swinging. Line drive left field. Left fielder going back, and the wind will hold it down, and he'll get it just before he gets to the track. Oh, on a clear day.
Yes,
that would have been clear to Evanston.
Jody hit the ball well. Gets another standing ovation.
Here's Larry Boa. Had a hit in the 3rd inning that triggered a 2-run inning. He scored himself. Since then, he's bounced out and struck out. Ron stays second base, 2 away. Stretch, look back. Here's the pitch. Low with a fastball, and it's 1-0. Looking to the New York ninth. They'll have Hernandez, Strawberry, and Foster do. With Boa up there, Foster playing a little league left. He is shallowed up and over near the line. Same thing for Wilson over in left center. Right fielder is giving him about 90 feet of the right field line. Swinging a foul. He was trying to jerk it right there down that right side, too.
That's right. He was so far out in front of that, it looked like he was out of the batter's spot when he fouled him.
You know, after the game, of course, Vinny will have the scoreboard. Then after that, on our flag station, WGN in Chicago, Uncle Bobby Collins will be along, and Keith Moreland will be his guest. Keith will be at the studio to chat with Uncle Bobby. Fly ball center. Wilson backs up about 8 steps. Under it, side retired. So that does it in the 8th. We will go to the 9th, trying to change the number to 7. The Cubs are in front, 7-1. All right, Rick Sutcliffe is on the hill, trying to go the distance for the 6th time. That would put him at the top of the heap in that department also. What a difference for a year in this pitching. Last year, this staff had 9 complete games. If they get one today, it would be 17.
And Rick would have 6 of them.
You got it. Here is Hernandez, 0 for 3. Sutcliffe trying to cool him off so that Sandberg can get back in front of him. Although Rhino today had to go 0 for 2. He had a sacrifice fly and a walk. And here is Keith Hernandez. And the first pitch to him, swinging, and a smash look right by the glove of Sandberg. Ball hit and jumped into right for a base hit. So Hernandez with a 6-game hitting streak with that base knock, and that is hit number 8 for the New York Mets. Here is Strawberry. Strawberry will be batting with a runner at first and nobody out. We are in the 9th inning. Sutcliffe has the sign and he stretches. Here's the pitch. Swing and a bouncer foul down the right side. Big Lee Smith is still heating it up in the bullpen, and he's been joined by Meredith. Ron Meredith, the left-hander, who you remember came up earlier in the year but never got in a game. Then went back to Des Moines and did a good job for them.
Yes, he did.
Here's the 0-1 pitch. Swinging, fly ball left field. Cotto will be right there, and it's 1 away in the 9th. Don't stand up yet, Lou. I know you're anxious.
Oh, I've got one leg out of the chair. Ready to go.
Oh, if this lead holds up, the good kid will have 2 numbers to change on the big sign right up above him.
Yes, indeed. Gladly.
And Vinny's going to get ready to oil that hinge and ring that bell. Yep. And Big Dan Albert's got 2 bells.
Ring those
like he rates the
bells.
picture. He says that's a 2-bell picture.
Ring those bells.
All right, here is Foster. He is 1 for 3 at a base hit in the 5th inning. A little pop fly to right field. Here's the pitch to him. Swing and a foul back. And it's strike 1. Wind is almost now blowing directly in over the scoreboard toward home plate, isn't it?
It's still at about a 12 to 14 mile an hour wind.
No balls, 1 strike. Here's the stretch pitch. High with a fastball, 1-1. Sutcliffe trying to win his 15th as a Cub, his 19th overall. Here's the pitch. There's a high pop foul off to the right side. Durham over, but the wind will blow it away from him. Back about 3 rows, and it's 1-2 to George Foster. So after the scoreboard, which will be on of all of our stations, in Chicago, Uncle Bobby Collins will have Keith Moreland as his guest. Bobby will take it up to 6:30 for Sports Central. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Runner at first. Here's the pitch. Backs him off the plate with a fastball right under the letters, and it's 2-2. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. He broke one off. Must have dropped a foot and a half.
Boy, he's pitched beautifully when the New York Mets hitters have had 2 strikes on him.
6 strikeouts, and now the crowd is up. Waiting for the magic number to drop.
Yes, indeed. Get this man.
This is Hubie Brooks. He is 0 for 3 today. The pitch to him, swung on a bouncer right side. Durham has it. He'll flip it to Sutcliffe. All right, swing. And they've knocked off 2 more numbers. The play going from Durham to Sutcliffe, erasing Brooks, and for all practical purposes, erasing the New York Mets, because the number has dropped to 7. Vinny, get it. Ring that bell. Good kid. Change the number. It's number changing time in the Cubs radio booth. It's down to 7. And the crowd responding. Yes, sir. It's down to 7. They know where to look. They know where it's happening. It's happening right here on Cubs radio as we bring it to you. So Jody Davis with a grand slam. Sutcliffe with a complete game. And the Cubs have knocked it down to 7. Number 7. Final score. The Chicago Cubs 7 and the New York Mets 1. Oh my goodness. This crowd, over 36,000. Boy, they were up for the last out. Then they were up looking to the good kid to drop the numbers. You've become a celebrity overnight.
We're a we team, not one up here.
Well, I tell you, you've got a job to do before we give totals, good kid. We got to pick a player or co-player of the game for Chevrolet.
All right, the ballots are out. My vote is for co-players Sutcliffe, who did another outstanding job, and Jody Davis, who put it away with his grand slammer.
Boy, it'd be hard to vote against that. Vinny's nodding agreement. He says Jody Davis and Rick Sutcliffe for co-Chevrolet players of the game. Right, Vinny?
Yeah, I'll go for that. And we also have the winner and the Frank's Nursery Grand Slam home run deal. Great. And Jody Davis's homer. Dave Lindgren lives on Whitcomb Street in Des Plaines, Illinois. Congratulations to Mr. Lindgren.
Great.
All right, and of course, True Value sent $500 to Cubs Care for that Grand Slam. We'll be back with a happy totals that reduce the number to 7 right after these messages.
Have one right now. Thank you, Marlo.
All right, let's look at the totals. You know, Good Kid says we were so anxious that we didn't really name appropriately the Chevrolet players.
We've got to announce it for Chevy. The Chevy co-players of today's victory over the Mets.
Yes.
Jody Davis and Rick Sutcliffe.
All right. Now let's look at the totals. The Cubs had 7 runs on 7 hits. No errors. They left 4. Winner Sutcliffe 15-1 and now 19-6 overall. Next week, when the Pirates come in, the big guy will be going for his 20th win. For the Mets, losing this one and a big loss for them, to say the least. 1-8-0, they leave 5. Loser Darling 12-7. Winning RBI Denier his 5th. Deciding RBI Sandberg. And Jody Davis, the game's only homer, but what a homer it was. A grand slam to deep left center, and that really put Sutcliffe in the driver's seat.
Yes, he could relax after that home run. Although at times I thought something was bothering Sutcliffe, whether it was the chill wind at his back or what. But nevertheless, he threw a lot of breaking pitches, and once again, Milo, he had tremendous control. He did not walk a man.
Amazing, isn't it?
Great. Just great.
All right, I'll be back to set the stage for the game tomorrow. But right now, I want to remind you that today's Big Cup victory has been brought to you by G. Heileman Brewing Company, makers of old-style beer, pure brewed in God's country, slowly and naturally. By Tallman Home Federal, a legacy of care, a future of commitment. By True Value Hardware Stores. The more you've got to do, the more you need True Value Hardware Stores, because they've got what it takes. By Chevrolet, with the technology, the performance, the style, the innovation, the quality and value that make up today's Chevrolet. And by Marathon and your local Marathon dealers and distributors. Marathon, best in the long run. Now tomorrow, in the middle game of this 3-game series, the Chicago Cubs have Scott Sanderson ready against Sid Fernandez. Sanderson will be going for his 8th win of the year. And here's what it has done to the standings with this victory. It has put the New York Mets 8.5 games back, putting them in the frame of mind knowing that even if they win the next 2, they would leave here 6.5 out with less than 2 weeks remaining.
Yes, indeed. If there ever was a must, it was sweeping this series if they wanted to get back into the race as far as I'm concerned.
Well, that was a big one. And who did you have out on that hill again in the right spot?
The one man that's been there all year since joining the Cubs and just doing a fabulous job, Rick Sutcliffe.
And he went all the way to do it. Leads the staff now with 6 complete games. So we hope that you'll be with us tomorrow. And remember, we mentioned it a couple times during the game, but the start tomorrow is an hour later. It's a 2:20 first pitch, and airtime will be 1:55 for the Jim Fry Show. For our engineer, Big Don Albert, the rest of the gang in the booth, Lou Boudreau and Vince Lloyd, I'm Milo Hamilton, thanking you for being with us. Stay tuned for Vinny and the Scoreboard. Then after that, in Chicago, Bob Collins will have Keith Moreland as guest as the show goes along, and then Sports Central at 6:30. You've heard the magic number drop to 7 on the WGN Chicago Cubs Baseball Network.
Hey, Cub fans, you know everybody knows that Chicago's a town full of traditions, and anybody who loves great food, wine, entertainment, and atmosphere knows that some of the best can be found at That Steak Joint, a Chicago dining tradition for 21 years. That Steak Joint boasts an authentic piano bar where Bruce Miles has been entertaining for 16 years. And Cub fans, Bruce Miles is the Cubs' new organist. And if there was ever a job that called for a talented and spontaneous musician, you can believe Bruce Miles fits the description. So make plans to visit That Steak Joint. Sit in on the lively action. And after being entertained by Bruce Miles, try That Steak Joint's award-winning steaks, barbecue ribs, or seafood. And to complement your meal, there's an innovative half-bottle wine list in addition to the regular wine list. These half bottles are some of the finest wines available, and a wonderful way to try several. That's Steak Joint, 1610 North Wells. Call 943-5091. That's 943-5091.
Good afternoon, everybody. Vince Lloyd back with you at Wrigley Field, and a delighted crowd here today of more than 36,000. And they watched the Cubs take the first of the big 3-game set from the New York Mets by a score of 7-1. Time now for the scoreboard. Our scoreboard today is brought to us by the Rusty Jones Car Saver System. He's number 1. He is the one and only Rusty Jones.
Hello, Rusty, good old Rusty. Hello, Rusty Jones. He keeps our new cars looking great. There's something to adore. Inside, outside, front to back, he helps make cars worth more. He's on the job all day and night. He likes to work that way. Never takes a coffee break for one vacation day. Hello, Rusty, good old Rusty. Hello, Rusty Jones.
Hi, I'm Rusty Jones, and I'll stay with you, too, protecting your new car inside and out with my Car Saver system. Through the dead of winter, the heat of summer, I'll keep your car looking great. And a great-looking car's worth more. Just ask your new car dealer to show you the way to the promised land of Rusty Jones cars.
That's why we sing you say, taste and brag with Rusty, good old Rusty. Ride with Rusty Jones. Ride with Rusty Jones.
The best new car dealer offers the Rusty Jones Car Saver system, so you'll be sure to look for one near you. Game highlighted today by another outstanding performance by Rick Sutcliffe and a grand slam home run into the teeth of the wind off the bat of Jody Davis. Tonight, the big games come in the American League, where in the Western Division of the American League, we have a two-way tie between Kansas City and Minnesota for first place. The California Angels are a game and a half out. Oakland and the White Sox, 7 games out, tied for fourth. The Sox will be at California tonight. And Kansas City plays at Seattle, while the Minnesota Twins will be at Texas. Other games in the National League, Montreal at Philadelphia, the Pirates at St. Louis, San Diego at Houston, Dodgers at Cincy, San Francisco at Atlanta. In case you haven't noticed, the San Diego Padres carry a 9.5 game lead over Atlanta and Houston. Those two teams are tied for second. And the Cubs now with a very, very comfortable cushion over the New York Mets. I'd like to remind you that the Cubs victory here at Wrigley Field today also is another victory for Boys Hope. Boys Hope is dedicated to caring for and educating needy boys in the Chicagoland area from the ages of 12 to 18. Every Cub win at home in 1984 means a $505 anonymous donation from a friend of Boys Hope. And let me tell you, they can really use your donation. $1, $5, $10, whatever you can afford is more than welcome. And to make your contribution, contact Boys Hope. Remember this telephone number. Get in touch with them. 256-5959. 256-5959. The Cubs got on the board first this afternoon with a pair of runs in the third inning. It started out with Jody Davis grounding out, but Boa singled into center field, and Rick Sutcliffe drew a base on balls. Both were to eventually score. Boa on Bobby Dernier's first of 3 straight hits, a double into left field. That also moved Sutcliffe to third, and then Sandberg, sacrifice fly to Ryan Sandberg, brought in Sutcliffe. But the big scoring came in the 6th inning for the Cubs. They were leading 2-0. That inning started out with Bobby Dernier's hit off the bare hand of Darling. It got away from him. It was picked up by Knight, but he had no play. A single followed by a walk to Sandberg, followed by a wild pitch by Darling. But Gary Matthews struck out. They then elected to walk Durham intentionally. 1 run came in on Keith Malton's ground out. Then they walked Ron Say intentionally to load the bases and set the stage for Jody Davis and this.
Here's Gaff's pitch. There's a long drive deep center field. Way back. It might be. It is. A home run. A grand slam. A grand slam. Holy cow. Against the wind. Listen to the crowd.
And that crowd really roared, and they continued to roar till Jody came out, doffed his helmet, and acknowledged that ovation. It was his 3rd career grand slam. It was also the Cubs' 3rd team grand slam in 1984. And the Cubs are winner 7-1. Sutcliffe now 15-1. Darling the loser 12-7. I'll be back to talk with Lou Boudreau right after this. Although it seems to me that when this season is finally ended, that there are going to be an awful lot of bouquets passed around to various members of the Chicago Cub organization.
I don't believe a Cub organization has been in the running for as many outstanding awards as the Cubs organization this year, not only including the ball players, but the executives, Vince.
Yeah. Jim Fry, certainly a strong candidate for Manager of the Year. And Dallas Green, equally strong candidate for Executive of the Year.
That's right. And then you've got Sandberg, the great second baseman, as the most valuable player. You have Sutcliffe on the mound for the Cy Young Award. I just don't know where you can go for any more, but that's plenty for one organization in 1 year, and especially when you mention the Chicago Cubs.
Yep, that's not too bad, is it?
No, it isn't. I think Davy Johnson has done a tremendous job with the Mets. He will be given some consideration, but I think that Dallas Green will run away with that particular award, and he should, deservingly so, because if it wasn't for the deal he made in June, the Cubs wouldn't be where they are today.
You're talking about the deal that brought
with Cleveland.
Rick Sutcliffe over here, along with Frazier and Hasse.
And also, you've got to consider the Denier Matthews deal.
Oh, yeah.
So the deals that he has made has been superb, and I think he alone would give credit to his organization, which goes down to Charlie Fox, and it goes down to the coaching, and it goes down, not to the coaching, the scouting also, and also to Gordon Goldsberry.
Well, there have been an awful lot of changes in this Cub lineup and roster from 1983 to 1984.
Yes. And on the plus side.
Yep.
Let's say.
Yep. I really can't think of anything negative about it, can you?
No, not at all. And going back to this game today, Vince, the New York pitchers, along with the help of Davy Johnson, gave up 4 bases on balls. All 4 men scored. So here again, when you get into a close contest, as we mentioned before the game began, execution is the name of the game. And the first time the Cubs had a chance to execute, they did perfectly by knocking off Bachman, who tried to take surprise the right fielder Moreland, who made a great play and a great throw to nip Bachman at second base with the score 2-0 against the Mets, and it was early in the game. I think it was the 4th inning.
Yeah, I think that was a key play in the ball game.
Absolutely. And you've got to give credit. We've mentioned that the Chevy players of the game, the co-players, were Sutcliffe and Davis. But let me tell you, there's a lot of others that lended their little hand into this victory. Take Denier, who had 3 hits, drove in the first run with his double, and Jody Davis, of course, with his grand slammer, and Sutcliffe with his pitching. We could name practically 3 or 4 men in 5 out of the 7 games that we play per week.
That's the point I was going to bring up. It seems like almost every day when the Cubs post a victory and you select a Chevy player of the game, quite often it is co-players, and quite often you could add a 3rd or a 4th.
Yeah, absolutely right. And that's why we have 3 fine gentlemen voting. And, of course, each one has an equal vote. I know Milo would like to have 2, but he's not going to get it. He plays favorites. Great to win, isn't it?
Well, it sure is. It sure is. And I have to repeat that record of Sutcliffe's again, 15-1.
Just remarkable.
And how many complete games for him now? 6?
That's 6. That's the top.
Out of 18 starts.
Yeah. I just can't go back into that short memory of mine to recall any other pitcher from June 13th when he joined us, or any pitcher joining ball club that early in the season that can come up with that type of a record.
No, it is incredible. Really is. All right. We'll repeat it again for those of you who may have just joined us. The Cubs and the Mets in the first of a 3-game set today, and the Cubs a winner 7-1. Sutcliffe going all the way. And Lou, the magic number now is...
And as they come down each
7.
day, hopefully, they'll be more beautiful until we get to that 0.
The great, if the Cubs could clinch the Eastern Division Championship on this homestand, which will continue after Sunday with an off day on Monday, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, the Pittsburgh Pirates here. All right. Tomorrow afternoon, be on hand at 1:55 for the Jim Fry Show. And the starting pitchers tomorrow for the Chicago Cubs, it will be Scotty Sanderson, and Sid Fernandez is scheduled to go for the Mets. That's our scoreboard for today.